Welcome to Trash Smash Moves, a series I've wanted to do for a long time, inspired by numerous other videos from multiple content creators where I cover bad moves in the Super Smash Bros. Series. Before I get started, I want to explain a few things behind this series. First of all, I am judging these moves from a competitive 1v1 perspective. This means that I am judging moves in a 1v1 stock match with no items on tournament legal stages. Items, tournament banned stages, and more than 2 players alter the usefulness and utility of any move, so I will not talk about moves much outside of a competitive 1v1 perspective, if at all. Secondly, a majority of my videos in this series will be focused on moves in Brawl, mainly because it is the Smash game I am the most familiar with. I would like to cover moves in other Smash games, particularly Smash 64 and Smash 4, but I mainly want to make videos on moves in Brawl. I am open to suggestions, so if you want me to cover a specific move, feel free to leave me a comment. Thirdly, and last of all, I am interested in making videos on good Smash moves in the future, but for now, I want to stick with bad moves. Anyway, let's get on to the topic of today's video. Mario's down tilt in Brawl. First of all, I want to give some context behind Mario in Brawl. Mario is considered to be a low tier in this game, but it is not because he has a bad moveset. In fact, a majority of his moves are actually reasonably good. The solid frame data Mario is known for in other games is still here, and a good amount of his moves are quite solid overall. Mario's moveset is not the problem. Mario's main issues in this game are that he has some trouble killing, the game's engine limits his combo ability, and his recovery is pretty bad. In general, Mario just does not have anything which is truly oppressive, something which the game's top and high tiers have. He doesn't have a powerful chain grab, or great mobility, or fast huge disjointed hitboxes, or an incredibly dominating projectile. What he has is solid, but he has nothing which is truly incredible. With all that being said, there is one move Mario has in Brawl that is really bad. So bad, in fact, that when people discuss what the worst move in the game is, this one move always pops up. And that is, of course, Mario's down tilt. At a first glance, this move doesn't look that bad, let alone worst move in the game bad. The move comes out in frame 5, which is pretty decent for a down tilt. The move also has deceptively long range. It is actually a fairly disjointed move. Granted, there are still multiple down tilts with much better range. But its range is not anywhere near as bad as it looks. Landing the move is not hard at all. Its quick speed and decent range mean that there are multiple instances where you can land the move, such as in a punishment scenario, and it is even guaranteed after a landing nair. The move is pretty weak though, only dealing 5% or 7% depending on the range, but I'll get back to its power later. Unfortunately, down tilt has multiple issues which prevent it from being a good or even a useful move. First of all, the move has quite a bit of ending lag. The move has around half a second of recovery or 34 total frames. This naturally makes the move fairly easy to whiff punish. Not only that, but this also makes the move terrible on shield. The move is minus 28 or minus 27 on shield, depending on if you get the 5% or the 7% hitbox. To put into perspective how awful that is, this is a true punish. Ganondorf's forward smash is frame 21 by the way. You can space the move to make it safer, but even if you do that, the move is still very punishable. Another strange restriction which makes this ending lag even worse is that Mario can't buffer anything out of down tilt except for another down tilt. Here I can buffer another down tilt just fine. But now I'm going to try and buffer a jab, and... This was the first Smash game to have a universal buffer system, but there are multiple instances where you can't buffer things. If a down tilt has no animation interrupt frames, the player cannot buffer most of their attacks out of it. And as luck has it, Mario's down tilt has no interrupt frames. Well, at least no interrupt frames that happen during the animation. This means that you can only buffer down tilt out of a down tilt, which is just a strange restriction. Most other down tilts don't have this restriction, so it's just strange. While the ending lag is pretty bad, this alone does not make the move bad. Meta Knight's down smash has the same startup and total frames as Mario's down tilt, and that move is amazing. What really makes this move terrible is when you combine the high ending lag with the move's incredibly low strength. I mentioned before that the move can do 5% or 7%, but in order to get the 7% hitbox, you pretty much have to be right next to the opponent. I mean, just look at this. This means that pretty much all the time you will get the 5% hitbox. The move has very low vertical knockback. This is how much knockback the move has at 0%. And this is how much knockback it has at 100%. The move did not even put Sheik into tumble, and Sheik is a light character. Granted, the 7% hitbox does scale more, but as I said previously, you are usually not going to get that 7% hitbox. Like its high ending lag, the move having garbage knockback is not a bad thing on its own. If the move had lower ending lag, it could be a solid combo starter, particularly at higher percents. The problem is that Downtilt has high ending lag. When you combine these two things together, this makes the move punishable on hit at lower percents. If you want hard numbers, the move is minus 16 on hit at 0%, although if the opponent lands they do have a few frames of landing lag. This results in a whole bunch of guaranteed dumb punishes if Mario lands the move. Here are some of my favourites! This is abysmal. In a best case scenario, Mario deals 5% to his opponent and resets to neutral. In a worst case scenario, however, Mario gets 5% and then he dies! Because of this, you have to space the move. But even if you space it well, you can still get punished at low percents. A really savvy opponent can even SDI the move to get closer to Mario. Even at 50%, the move is still quite minus on hit, with certain characters still being capable of punishing it, depending on their position. It's not until the opponent reaches around 100% the move finally stops being minus on hit. But even then, you don't get any guaranteed follow-ups out of the move, and the opponent isn't in a particularly bad position either. The move also becomes minus again once it causes tumble because hit stun cancelling is pretty strong in this game. Even Luigi's Downtilt, which has near identical frame data and is even more punishable on hit, is better. This is because it deals more damage, and it launches opponents downwards with a decent tripping chance. The move is terrible if it does not trip, but it can trip, and when it trips it's actually pretty decent. The move's different launch angles also allow it to be used for edge guarding. Well, it's certainly better than this. So as I have demonstrated, Mario's Downtilt is pretty bad. It is very punishable when it doesn't hit, and when it does hit, it is either still punishable or, if you are lucky, it just tacks on an extra 5% onto your opponent. With all that being said, why is this move arguably the worst move in the game? Sure, it's pretty weak, but it does still sound usable, at least at high percents, which is more that can be said with some moves. The reason is because this move is completely useless. Let's take a quick look at some of Mario's other moves to see why. Forward tilt and up tilt both come out on frame 5 much like down tilt. Forward tilt has comparable range to down tilt, although it is not disjointed. Forward tilt however deals more damage and knockback, it launches opponents horizontally, and it has 10 frames less ending lag. This makes forward tilt a much better spacing move, as it is a lot safer and it is more rewarding on hit. You can even angle the move up or down, so if you want a low poke or an option to hit opponents at the ledge, you can simply use forward tilt instead. Up tilt naturally has less horizontal range, although it has more active frames, more vertical range, more knockback, and it has less ending lag. This makes it much better at close range as it can set up juggles, it is safer, and it can even be used as an anti-air. It can even kill. Lastly, down smash also comes out in frame 5. It has less range and a bit more ending lag, but it is way stronger, being an actual kill move. It is also safe on hit at 0%, it low profiles, similarly to Downtilt, and it can hit opponents behind Mario. With all this in mind, when would you ever want to use Downtilt? Everything this move does, Mario has other moves which can do the same thing, but better. You want to quickly hit the opponent or projectile? Use jab, which is frame 2. You want to space against your opponent? Use F tilt. You want to set up a juggle? Use up tilt. You want to low profile and hit the opponent low? Use down smash. Down tilt is pretty much unusable at low percents, and when it does become usable, Mario has much better options which are safer and far more rewarding. This is why Mario's down tilt is arguably the worst move in all of Brawl. It is one of the only moves in the entire game which is completely useless. There are many bad multi-hitting moves, but at the very least, those moves can be effective against lower level players. There are also numerous other moves which are much more difficult to land or are absolutely terrible in their own right, but at the very least, they have some sort of situational or niche use. Mario's down tilt quite literally has nothing. I personally do not think that this is the worst move in the game because I think there are moves that are worse in a vacuum. I think if this move was on a character with terrible frame data like Ganondorf, it wouldn't be as useless as it is on Mario. Now I'm not saying that Ganondorf would be better off with Mario's down tilt because he absolutely would not. What I'm saying is that if Ganondorf did have Mario's down tilt, he would have a use for it since it's faster than all of his other moves. The problem is that the move is on Mario and the move is just terrible and useless on Mario. To end this video, I want to quickly talk about what the Smash devs did to improve this move in Smash 4 and by extension Ultimate. The move received 2 changes that made it way better. The move has more knockback and it has 8 frames less ending lag. These changes made the move so much better. The move not only became much safer, especially on hit, but it became an actual viable combo starter. These changes turn Mario's down tilt into an actual useful move, especially at higher percents. Opponents now have to be wary of Mario's down tilt, particularly if they were at the ledge. The move is still not amazing by any means, but at the very least it's better than this. Funnily enough though, they actually reduced the move's range in Smash 4. I just find it kind of amusing how they gave this previously terrible move a nerf. That's all I've got today. Thank you for watching this video. I know a video idea like this is not very original, but I wanted to make a video of this sort of style for a very long time. I already have ideas for other videos I'd like to make for this series, but if you have any suggestions then feel free to let me know. As I said at the beginning of this video, I mainly want to look into moves in Brawl, but I am willing to look into moves in other Smash games as well.
Thanks for watching,
guys.